Trauma survivors get overwhelmed more easily. Kind of. A lot of trauma survivors have...
Are you ready to feel completely understood and totally confused all at the same time? Because I have an explanation for that. You should go watch that video because what I'm going to say fits in with all of it. I recently learned that if you grew up in trauma, a lot of the trauma responses that you have learned mimic almost identically to ADHD. And they're not even talking about like abuse trauma, but this can also be if you have emotional immature parents who don't understand their own stuff before they become parents. That can also trigger trauma, which can mimic ADHD symptoms. And since most of us millennials aren't knowing that we have ADHD until we're like late 20s, early 30s, the most common ones for men is overwhelm and starting a lot of projects without finishing them. For women, we don't externalize ADHD as much. It can also look like a lot of unfinished projects, lots of like little bitty cleaning things that never actually got finished. But a lot of the time with women, it's the typical hyperactivity, but it's in here. It's like this continuous inner monologue, dialogues and conversations and scenarios and to-do lists and like this constant stuff where your brain is literally overwhelmed. That's why when there's little things that happen, it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. You just can't physically handle one more thing. But when something massive happens, you're able to shut all of that off, turn on all of your trauma responses, and focus on the emergency. Some people also get really good at hyper-focusing on projects, basically in the same way that a normal person's brain would focus on some sort of like fight response. Here's the other thing that goes with that. And this one is, it happens to men, but it happens a lot with women. When your brain is in this perpetual spiral and there's nothing you can do to get it out, it actually builds up your cortisol levels, which are the wonderful stress hormone. And cortisol's BFF is actually white fat, which tends to, in women, build up around your belly. So if you think of all that in the summary, your possible trauma responses may be causing your ADD symptoms, which may be causing your body to be overloaded with stress, which may be causing you to have too much belly fat. And this could very much be one of the reasons that women feel like they have tried literally everything to lose weight and nothing works, because the fat is from the cortisol, which is from the ADHD-like symptoms, which is from the trauma responses that you've accumulated throughout your entire life.